That night science made its greatest mistake. What unknown terror was born that night? What is the terrifying mutant that strikes from behind the shroud of night? That night of the Lepus. A night of total terror, more shattering than your strangest nightmare. What caused the unnatural death, destruction, and panic that night of the Lepus? Janet Leigh, Stuart Whitman, Rory Calhoun, and Paul Fix. Night of the Lepus. Kill one, and thousands take their place. What devil creatures growing in weight and size every day are hidden behind the eyes of horror? What can stop them? Night of the Lepus. From MGM.
Come with us now, if you dare, down a rickety staircase into a dank, dark basement. What awaits? The Saturday Night Freak Show.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, welcome back to the Saturday Night Freak Show podcast. That happens every Saturday, right here at this location, wherever you found us, on the internets, where we watch a movie and then we talk about it for your enjoyment. I'm Colin. I'm your host. I'm surrounded by a bunch of internet radio superstars, including
Tom,
Travis,
Sean.
And tonight we watched Sean's pick,
Night of the Lepus,
from the year
1972.
Directed by
who?
Wait, hold on.
Stony R. Braxton.
It's Brixton or something like that. It's something close.
You've never heard of anyone in this movie except for Janet Leigh.
No.
It stars Janet Leigh, DeForrest Kelley, and Rory Calhoun from a bunch of westerns.
And Stuart Whitman.
Yeah, you're the only one who knows that one.
Stuart Whitman? Is that the guy from Motel Hell?
No, Rory Calhoun.
Rory Calhoun, the farmer. Meat's meat, man's got to eat.
Bones.
You know
Bones. Yeah.
You know Janet Leigh.
Yeah, Janet Leigh is from Psycho. She got moited
in the shower.
In the shower.
Marion Crane.
Yeah.
She's
the car.
Yeah. So everybody's like, what the fuck is a Lepus?
Is she the young...
A Lepus is the scientific Latin definition of bunny rabbit.
It really is bunny rabbit.
Night of the bunny rabbits.
Night of the bunny rabbits.
All right, so that's the thing. When somebody shows up at a drive-in late in the movie and says, there's killer rabbits coming, a herd of killer rabbits, I think the thing that they miss including in that statement, and we probably should too, is that these are
giant killer rabbits.
Yes.
They're not just killer rabbits, or else that wouldn't be so frightening.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, but they're not like...
A bigger doesn't really make them frightening, though, I
They're
would say.
giant as in they're
know.
the size of, like, wolves. They're not
But they get bigger.
Yeah,
They're like bears.
They're like bears.
They're like bears.
Bear-sized bunny rabbit.
But it's hard to tell because,
They're
like,
not
in this movie,
giant
sometimes...
Gila monster.
There's no human comparison, really, for the movie. I mean, besides when they're doing the close-up fighting.
Yeah, and that's when they're kind of smaller. In the cave, they say it's as big as wolves, but, like, there's some scenes where it's just like, what are you talking about, big as wolves? Those things are fucking elephant size.
Right?
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's something they were supposed to talk about at some point in time, that they're growing bigger.
I just think it's just a shitty model work.
No, actually, that was
what are you
great
saying?
model
No,
work.
great. The miniatures
Well,
and the models
I mean, like
that might be the best part.
The miniature work is done in a weird, like the size. Sometimes the model work matches up to really show how big they are, and sometimes the model work makes them seem bigger than what they should be, and sometimes they're smaller than what they should be. It depends on what shots they're.
Yeah, it just depends on what they're doing.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're in a store, sometimes they're out in the streets. As big as elephants.
Sometimes they when they're in the store they don't look that big, but when they're out in the streets they look a lot bigger. So, but when they're in the wilderness they look kind of small. So it's just kind of.
Yeah, so you may ask, how do bunnies become so giant? Well, it's simple.
Goddamn kids.
Well,
yeah.
It's a mysterious hormone just sent in by a doctor.
Yeah, so what the hell? I'm still like trying to like remember like how exactly
they're trying to. There's a farmer that Calhoun dude from Motel Hell. He's a rancher guy.
He's the rancher, and he's having a problem with rabbits. The rabbit war of the 1970s, apparently, as the old war footage showed us. And so they talked to a couple scientists to try and it's like come up, take a look at them. Yeah, the young couple of Janet Leigh and Whitman.
Janet Leigh has white hair.
She's got to be 40 something.
Yeah,
only 43.
It's a young couple, but they go to them to try and figure out a way to stop all this, so they don't have to poison their entire fields and destroy half of his ecosystem on his farm.
Yeah, because that's like the big part of this movie, right? That's the big nature story is the idea that everything's in its ecosystem. I mean, if you just take this away, then this will
run rampant.
Whatever, run rampant.
And so the rabbits are running rampant. And so they
get this hormone.
They capture a couple of them, and the scientist does some experiments on them. They get this hormone from. We don't know.
Some doctor sends it.
It's a doctor that he sent it in this morning.
It's in a test tube.
And if this does,
that screams
what I hope it does. That's that's the explanation.
I wish I knew what the reactions to this serum were going to be, but fuck it.
Yeah, but then there's the if one of these rabbits with this serum should get out. Heaven help us! I'm like, what kind of experiments are you doing?
Well, they're trying to fuck with their hormones, trying to basically give them all sex changes.
Basically, yeah. So they stop breeding.
Somehow this relates into growing huge. The hormones make them grow big.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, as hormones do.
They do. Yeah, they make you grow big. It should have been like the Nutty Professor, where they just turned into cooler rabbits.
They just same rabbits, just with sunglasses. That would have been good.
Fucking dicks.
Yeah, and then it does all come down to those damn kids, because the one kid in the movie, the little girl of 10. She wants to take
It's the scientist's own fucking daughter. That's what really makes me mad.
I want to take a rabbit home.
I want to take one of your science fucking projects home.
Well, we can't put all the blame on her. There's that asshole other kid who's just like, no, get rid of it and put it away.
Well, but she did change it. Leigh understood. She should be around. She's been around scientist parents for 10 years at least now. She sees them inject this thing with this ultra rare. They explain what is a controlled and a non-controlled. Yeah,
she's there. They explain it.
And then she's like, you know what? I'm gonna fuck their experiment by just taking this rabbit and putting it in the non-control or in the whatever But then when I ask for, can I have one? They let me take the fucking one. I just switch. It's just like, why would you? That's the dumbest thing. That should be how Spider-Man happens, right? That should be Spider-Man.
Goddamn kids. So the rabbits get out into the wild and multiply
like rabbits do.
Into giant rabbits. And so then it becomes eventually we got to bring in the National Guard and all that to deal with it. Oh, it's great stuff.
Eventually.
Yeah.
All right, so there's all these people running around in this movie, but there's not really any kind of character types. I mean, they're just it's Stuart Whitman and Janet Leigh. And DeForrest Kelley.
They're all just information towards it. They're all we're going to meet at this street. It's like watching a modern day cop show, right? You just get in the scene. You just say here's the lab test. Here's where we're going to meet. All right, I'll meet you there. Take the helicopter.
It's very reminiscent of the sci-fi movies of the 50s and 60s, when we did those old sci-fi movies where it's they would sit down, something would happen, and then you'd have someone, a scientist, sit down and explain why this is happening, which in this case it did multiple times.
Yes.
Except the one time with the scientist, he's like, why are they so big? Are they vampires? They could be vampires.
There really was an option there for about a minute or two.
But you know what they think they are? I think they're saber-toothed tigers.
You're talking about the forensic scientist that explains to the cops what he's about to do and what they came there for. He's like, by looking into these microscopes, we can look at the world in a different light and help study who. It's just oh my god.
Take a look yourself.
It's just that's when it's there's no character in this whole movie. I think there's one scene where the guy's oh, me and the wife would love that. And he like smiles. I'm like, oh my God, someone like broke some character into this motherfucker. Someone just didn't have information to relay. Yeah. It was really just like, he's going to enjoy like visiting him at the cabin or at the ranch that year or whatever.
That's what it's like. Are they populating this with character actors or movie stars? It's like, as long as you have somebody in there.
Movie stars?
Well, I mean,
we're talking Janet Leigh. We're talking these people.
They're all kind of
slumming it. In the 70s, I think that these were known
for
people.
Being the B horror movie people,
those
just
are like
the same
westerns
way
and stuff. I mean, like, I don't know if they were in horror movies so much.
Well, I thought that's what Janet Leigh. I mean,
aside from Psycho,
yeah, but she
Manchurian Candidate and some other prestige films that she was in.
Sure. Yeah, for as big as name as we remember her being. I remember Psycho and...
See, I don't recall her being a big name. I remember her just being a scream queen. She was just like, fucking have this girl, I'll pick her up and like scream your head off,
I think that
she was in one of those.
I think that was just for Psycho, to be honest, now that I'm thinking about it. I don't think she was in the other horror movies. I know John Carpenter put her and her daughter in The Fog, but that was, like the guy who had grown up watching these early things. But yeah, I mean, I guess like Tom was saying, it does have like this, it feels like, because when it started, I'm like, okay, so this is one of those like When Nature Attacks movies that came out in the wake of Jaws, because Jaws was 75, and then you had like Grizzly and this
isn't one of those movies.
No, because this was made. It predates Jaws. It was made in 1972.
This movie feels more like along the lines of like
them.
It's Atomic Monster movie.
Yeah, this is like a giant Gila monster.
Okay, Earth versus the Spider, the Deadly Menace. Yeah, Deadly Menace is great. Tarantula.
It's those giant Gila monster movies of like the 50s.
Yeah, I mean, I think, after finding out what year it was made, I think that, I was like, oh, that's what the tradition is.
Its style, its pacing, its character development. It's very much like a 50s sci-fi movie. The way there's no characters, the way the scientists sit down there and go like, it's important, you can't do this because the ecosystem, you gotta have balance in the ecosystem. You can't just wipe the rabbits out, because if you wipe the rabbits out, then there's no balance.
The grasshoppers will take over.
Grasshoppers will take over.
Yeah.
So, it's like...
I think maybe that's what makes the difference then between, like... So Jaws actually belongs to, like, in, like, the cinematic lineage, like, the birds. Where, like, it's just this thing shows up and then...
Jaws is about a family, man. It's a fucking
but they don't explain the shark. I mean, the shark just shows up. Like, in the birds, the birds just
the birds just show up. They don't have a scientific in the birds, they never have a scientific explanation about why the birds are attacking.
Right.
Where Jaws, like if you read the book, Jaws is about how the mayor actually owes the mob money. That's why he doesn't want to shut down the beaches. I mean, you get a little bit more in depth with that shit.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, but I mean,
but then for some reason, Sheriff Brody's wife cheats on him with the oceanographer.
Yeah,
that's what they didn't put in the movie. Huh?
That's a big part of
read the book.
The book is way different.
Shit.
Yeah. It's not an adventure movie like the...
No. It's not about the shark at all.
I flipped through some of it, but yeah.
The shark is not bad.
It's still a pretty good book, though. It's a short
book. It kills Quint and then swims away. And that's the end. Dun, 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 dun.
Pretty fun.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I guess that's the difference. It's like these ones set it up that they have to explain, like, or come up with some kind of kooky scientific reasoning for the thing being there. Here's the reason why we fucked with something. We split the atom or whatever, and because of our meddling, we made nature attack.
Oh, and this is also based off a book called Night of the Angry Rabbits.
It was
The Year of the
Angry Rabbits.
Year of the Angry Rabbits.
Year of the Angry Rabbits.
And the stuff that came after Jaws, though, I mean, like, when you see, I don't know, have you seen Kingdom of the Spiders with William Shatner?
No.
I think it takes place in Arizona, too. That's why it's like the landscape of this, with everybody's wearing cowboy hats and the style of dress and all that. It feels like Kingdom of the Spiders. And that one I don't think has any kind of... That's the post-Jaws thing where, like, nature just attacks. Like grizzly... they're just a bunch of tarantulas. Killer tarantulas.
Oh, wow.
Giant?
No.
But that's...
There's
Empire
the Swarm.
Ants.
The Swarm was the biologically engineered military wasps or whatever.
Right.
Remember the
Food
Swarm?
of the gods. They've got some kind of chemical, I think, that turns...
Yeah, but see, like then you got like a movie like Arachnophobia, which is actually like a good one. That's more of like a comedy.
Yeah, but that's from the 90s. I mean, it's not from that era, It's like, just after Jaws, it seemed like they were doing all sorts of like nature attacks movies. I mean, wasn't that where like frogs comes from? And
I'm sure ants,
slugs.
You ever see ants?
Squirm.
Ants, bug. Yeah.
Yeah, this is a weird anomaly from the 70s. It's a reject left over from like the 50s movies like that and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's the one idea that was left on the board for the 50s science fiction movies, and they're like, couldn't really figure out how to do that one.
I just think
what do you think?
That composite special effect was just like, I mean, it was just like the shit from the 50s into the 80s, right? I mean, they're just like, fuck it, anyone can do this. It became like 60-foot women and like killer bunnies and like anything you could make huge and like.
Well, that's like the supreme miscalculation of this movie, I think. And like I looked it up on the IMDb and it had a rating, I think, of like a half star. So I'm like, man, we're gonna be in for some awfulness. And then watching it, I'm like, it's a competently made movie.
Is it?
I thought, I mean, the model work
made, yes, acted and other such, maybe not.
The model work was good. I will say that.
Model work was good.
Well, like as a movie itself.
No, but I mean it was pretty straightforward. Like the players were all. I mean, it's a sufficient movie. It's not like doing anything to distinguish itself. But I wouldn't say it's like failing miserably all over the place. And, like I've seen some bad, I mean, like the giant Gila monster is a bad movie. Where like the special effects are terrible. The scenario is terrible.
Like Sharknado was a bad movie.
Yeah.
It's an incompetent movie.
Yeah, where it's like they couldn't actually do it. This is like when you see the special effects, it's like they're not awful. And some of them are actually kind of, endearing in the little miniature work.
The problem is like, it's just, they just fucking... They just show the shot of like the same. They got like 5 shots of like rabbits running, and they just keep showing. There's never like any shot of like, it's just a shot of rabbits being herded on a miniature set, and then close-ups of rabbits' faces.
Which when I first saw this as a child, it thrilled me.
Right?
And
the scene with Janet Leigh and the flare, and it's just showing close-ups of it going to all the eyes of the rabbit. That's the one that sticks out in my head from being a kid.
And there is a few instances where somebody gets attacked by a rabbit, which is obviously a dude in like a suit.
Like, yeah, he's like a rabbit in
like
suit.
Super close up, right? You just see like the guy's face and some kind of furry thing,
clock someone. Gives him a right hook.
He really does.
I love all that stuff.
This stuff was fun. I just thought the script had like no heart. Like it didn't even try to make a joke. It didn't like try to make like
dead serious.
It was just very like, well, that is a problem. Yes, I do. Yeah. I would certainly appreciate it. All right. Well, I'll meet you down there about 2 p.m. It was just so straightforward. Jesus Christ.
Right down the line.
But I think this movie is from like the 70s era of it feels like it belongs in like a drive-in movie theater. Like would be like your
it's a perfect drive-in movie.
Late night, like the last movie of the night. Your 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning movie.
The crowd is full of people who like I haven't seen this movie.
They're either fucking or they're high or drunk or they're not watching the movie.
Until they see giant rabbits.
There actually is a scene that takes place in a drive-in theater in this drive-in movie.
And it's probably the most ridiculous one in the movie.
Yeah.
Attention, everybody! There's a herd of giant killer rabbits headed this way. Just killer rabbits. Sorry, they're not giant.
Killer rabbits.
Do not panic.
Everybody, like, all right.
Everybody, roll up your windows.
Sheriff said so.
We're going to use you to herd the animals this way.
Yeah, that was weird, right?
That's what they did. They recruited the people at the drive-in to help them out, and they were
going to
all
use you all as bait. Herd the rabbits.
Honk if you agree. Everyone honked.
I'm so fucking pissed. I swear to God, we saw a miniature train. I was like, dude. If you see a miniature train, you expect that miniature to be destroyed or knocked over at some point in time by giant fucking rabbits. Not happen. Right? I was like, what the fuck? That's the one thing this movie had to do.
Yeah.
Knock over a fucking train.
Yeah, it was disappointing.
Or a fight with a helicopter.
They should have destroyed some buildings, right?
something like Cena, because we saw the aftermath of like shit, but no actual like them taking down a building.
Yeah, they like go through some windows.
They just got actual rabbits, like funny, cute rabbits,
cute
and just
rabbits.
put them on a set, and then there's probably some guy going like finding a way to shoo them, and then they film that.
It was cool though. I like it.
Yeah, and there were like squibs or something going off. That
was weird.
Because whenever anybody's shooting shotguns at these rabbits, you're seeing like the blood explosions.
The red paint.
Well, one I saw, you could tell it was like a stuffed rabbit.
Right.
One.
Oh yeah. The one that's all covered in blood.
There was this couple shots where, like, especially when they're in the cave and they first see the rabbits, there's mostly the cute, funny bunny rabbits, but they must have found a couple like mean-looking ones with like
frothing at the mouth,
right? Or the ones that are just showing their teeth, like.
They found like mean-looking rabbits, or they found like like
a rabbit,
like a model rabbit or something.
A model
fake one.
Jessica rabbit.
The quote-unquote gore level in this movie. I'm like, what is this rated? When they were first attacking people, I'm like,
the
what's
guy
this
in the
rated?
truck.
This is going to be like PG. It's not going to be anything. But then, there's like a guy all torn up and just covered in ketchup or something.
Yeah, we see at least like 4 or 5 torn up bodies.
Yeah, a family dies. 2 children get killed.
Get to see him get torn up.
No, you don't, because all you can do is see the rabbit like tackle him.
Like poor Judd gets attacked by a full-on rabbit.
He does.
And
like that guy's like, behind you. I was like, you wouldn't see a 20-foot rabbit behind you.
He gets attacked by a rabbit, and like afterwards, like there's not a scar on him. It's just he's got kind of ripped clothes.
Yeah, but he was a good actor. He was like shaking, like he just seen fucking big rabbit, dude. He's the best actor in the whole fucking movie. He wasn't great at delivering dialogue, but still, his body, I was like, I believe.
Or when he was driving that truck for those rabbits, he was.
I gotta get out of here.
Yeah,
those big rabbits. Goddamn big rabbit. Big old jackrabbit. Yeah. Well.
I wish they would have got like jackrabbits, because jackrabbits are like hares.
Well said. Good point.
So, I mean, if they had gotten jackrabbits or hares, because they're more like skinnier and scrawnier,
sure,
got,
with
like,
the longer legs.
They probably were too quick for the slow mo. They probably they'd probably just go through the set like in 2 or 3 jumps. We're like, we need these fat bunnies that will kind of like hobble through our set a little bit. Give us some time to shoot.
You got your fat Midwestern bunnies.
Yeah, they're like fat. They're homegrown bunnies. They've been fed in a fucking cage their whole life. I liked it though.
The hair.
Well, just that part.
Right.
A little bit more.
Did not like the movie.
Well, they had like the sound of the stampeding rabbits was something like this.
Oh wait, but you forgot the weird Aborigine.
Drums deep in the dark.
It did sound like somebody was chanting them their way through there.
It was a voodoo curse.
They had like a musical accompaniment to their stampede.
They did.
Yeah, they had.
It was Hans Zimmer. No.
Well, after the so this is the main character, the main couple, whatever. Stuart Whitman and Janet Leigh are like studying. What is it? I mean, like,
they're studying bats.
The young couple,
bats.
Yeah, the young couple.
They're like
bats,
recording bat sounds.
Yeah,
which was weird.
And they wanted they said they want to like introduce bats into different environments.
Yeah, but see,
to take care of mosquitoes.
Like they had an interesting philosophy. They're recording the bat sounds, and he's like, "Well, that's the bat. See, that's the sound of fear. So I'm going to use the bat sound of fear in order to scare the bats, to herd the bats toward an area with mosquitoes and stuff like that." So I'm like, I see where this movie's going to go. They're going to record the sound of scared rabbits. They're going to use that technology that they're working on to like use it. That didn't come into play.
No, they came up with new technology for the rabbits, the hormone.
Yes,
the hormone.
Yeah.
It would have been interesting if they used some sound thing.
Don't pay her. Bad joke.
Sorry.
Stop the conversation.
I apologize.
Awkward.
Yep. So, Dr. McCoy from Star Trek, he shows up in it with a mustache.
Damn it, Jim.
It's awesome.
Bones.
And he works for the college. Is he like the dean or something? He's the one that the rancher
president of.
Is that what people do all like? Okay, I see this in movies, especially monster movies, all the time. They're always like, let's get the college, the head of the college.
Really, yeah.
Let's get the science at the scientists at the college.
Because there's no other scientists hanging around. They're all teachers somewhere. Like that's what they're doing in the meantime, or that's where they're doing their studies anyway.
I guess at least like nowadays, I guess we're just so used to having a government number. You wouldn't go to the local college to meet with the fucking professor or whatever, you know.
Well, you still do. You find a rock in your backyard and you're like, what the hell is this?
Do you do that?
Well, we have a museum,
Jordy Verrill?
so I guess you'd take it to the museum, but yeah, I don't know. Like people.
This is a broken meteorite.
Yeah. Yeah, so they get Bones McCoy from the college to recommend the scientists.
The young couple.
Because he's got because his horse done died. It was just a tragic horse, couldn't see.
Ran into a rabbit hole, broke his leg. Done.
This rabbit epidemic.
Is there no like coming back from that for a horse? Like that's just it. Like from the beginning of horses till now, we haven't figured out something they're just done.
I think so.
They're never the same afterwards.
What was that famous horse that they...
Seabiscuit?
No, just...
That's the only famous horse I fucking know.
I don't know. I forget. You can... there is kind of technology. The thing is, it's all about...
We will make him faster.
It's like, you can't really fit... You can... If they break their leg, you can kind of fix it, but...
The quality of life is not...
They're not good workhorses.
Because you gotta understand, a horse is like 1,000-pound animal, and they got like legs that gotta support them. If the leg's broken, then they can't support the body weight. And since the horse like pretty much stands all day,
can't you put it in a hammock? Hang it from the ceiling?
No.
Shoot it.
Well, there it is.
Just
dead.
It's a terrible life for a horse.
Yeah.
Well,
Glue factory done.
There was a dog in this movie. Looked like Benji.
Which
I want
we
to say
should
that he
watch.
survived the rabbit apocalypse.
Probably.
I don't know.
That dog was smart.
Nice
He ran
to
away.
see some, you know.
Oh yeah, the only character we cared about.
Anybody get like torn up by the rabbit? Because all the rabbits would really do is like kind of make out with a person. And
really?
I did see that there was no like animal humane that didn't exist back then.
No, you know when that came about? It was Heaven's Gate, 1980. On that movie, they actually, I want to say a couple horses died, and it's like in the film. And after that, they formed the American Humane Society.
So we could have seen some hurt bunnies here.
Oh, I bet we
I
did.
think so, because in the beginning, they were clearly shooting them in that, like, the
in the footage.
Yeah, I think it was stock footage, though.
Those are dead.
But the thing that kind of bothered me about this, one of the things, is like a rabbit apocalypse, like the rabbit menace, right? The rabbit menace, your rabbits, the rabbits are eating on the farmland and just causing an issue, right? So if the rabbits got giant, wouldn't it, like, you would have to like emphasize that the land would be barren, that these rabbits are totally just devastating the land.
I don't think they got the opportunity.
No, because this literally
man-eaters.
It's supposed to literally take like over like what 2 nights. I mean, this movie they're like
quick.
grow big overnight, spread overnight.
They hang out in the mine most of the time until they come out at night.
Because they get dynamited.
They do.
That's the way that they're going to solve the rabbit problem is by getting them all in a mine and then.
But as we know,
early solution anyway.
It never works.
Right, because they're burrowing animals, right? Because they're burrowing animals. The best way to stop a burrowing animal is to bury it in the ground.
Yeah.
Science.
They'll never come out.
Science.
Yeah. So that doesn't work too well. Rabbits burrow their way out and into town at night. I'm trying to think like who they take down.
Just random people.
They take out Judd.
They take out Judd.
They take out Judd's truck driver.
No main characters
die. They take out the miner.
Yeah, but wasn't like Judd's wife
He's a prospector
Oh wait,
guy.
no, the guy, the refrigerated truck driver. That's what
he gets. Apparently, they took out a bunch of teenagers. We don't know who the teenagers were, but
there's radio frequency about they came through this part of town and everyone's dead.
Yeah, remember there was a bunch of teenagers teenagers.
I don't remember teenagers.
There's like 4 or 5 teenagers.
There's like no teenagers. I don't know what you're talking about.
There was a family that was dead.
That was made with. It's populated by old men.
They said teenagers are dead. Of course, their version of teenagers may be 40-year-old people.
Well, that's it. I mean, I guess when they're saying like the young couple, right? All the people who are saying this are like 60. I mean, these are like weathered old actors, which is just kind of I thought it was actually kind of cool and interesting in a way that, like, everything we see now has like the young Hollywood set or whatever, and this is like old
Hollywood set.
Yeah.
Had to save money.
They were all kind of slumping.
Save money on actors for the effects.
It must not have saved a ton of money.
Yeah.
Oh.
These models are pretty good. But yeah. So they go through. And the rabbits escape after the dynamiting.
Oh, he's looking for a Pepsi. Bar interlude.
There it is.
But they take out they go on their stampede. They run through
wreak a little
the
havoc.
General store. They kill the proprietor's wife. At some point, Stuart Whitman ends up walking. No, it wasn't Stuart Whitman.
No, it was Rory Calhoun. Just walking.
He's just walking.
No parents.
Down,
his horse died at the beginning. He's got nowhere to get anywhere.
Yeah, and nobody will pick him up because he's wandering around with a gun.
Which he throws away.
Because they wouldn't pick him up.
But he doesn't go get it.
Would you pick up?
And then he runs into a town that's got giant rabbits in the store, and he has no way to deal with that.
But he throws it away and doesn't go get it again.
The store people were dead.
They were.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was funny. He, looks in the window. He's just like, this place is a mess. Oh, no, the legs. Oh, my God, there's fucking 10 giant rabbits in here. It's like, what the hell could you not see that as soon as you poked your head inside?
Yeah.
30 giant rabbits.
Nobody ever notices.
No, never, ever. They're always looking down until
because when they
everybody's got tunnel
they look
vision
like
in movies.
They could be furniture.
Yeah,
sure. Oh yeah, fuzzy couches.
Giant.
Yeah, exactly.
Could be a bunch of rich women shopping.
Oh dear!
Oh, a lot of mink in the store today. Oh my God! Giant rabbits.
And Janet Leigh and the daughter wander off in the RV. To do something,
and they go off-roading because
I think maybe they were sent away.
Was a woman driving?
Safe.
She's from the 60s.
It kind of got fuzzy at this point. No pun intended. Pun intended.
There's a perfectly good road, and for some reason she takes like a hard right into like the rocky terrain.
I thought that was the road.
Buries the wheels. But that actually did set up like that atmospheric night shot where like the rabbits were all coming after her and she's out there.
But they could have done like anything else.
She jumps out the back.
I ran over a nail. Why? I just ran off the road.
Tire, or hit a rabbit pothole and took out the axle.
At this point, it's all going to be quote unquote convenient that it happened. Yeah, so you could pick anything at that point. But nope, bad woman driver. That's what they went with.
Bad woman driver.
Who came up with the brilliant idea to electrify the train tracks?
Oh my God!
Was that Stuart Whitman?
Sure, that was because that was the guy, right? The guy that was doing the bat test. He's the guy that had all the answers.
Wait, what was his name?
Batman.
Yeah, Batman.
He's Batman. This is a Batman origin story. He is Batman.
Yeah, we just watched this and I can't even remember the character name.
I'm not kidding.
I remember Sheriff Cody.
It got foggy.
That's the only name they repeated a lot. Was Sheriff Cody. Sheriff Cody.
Yeah.
And I've always wanted to use Sheriff
But they do.
Cody.
They call the National Guard. Somebody hops in a... Right, I mean...
National Guard.
Those giant rabbits.
Fucking machine
Who's dealt with that shit?
They hop in the helicopter to go get...
What's kind of disappointing that, given the budget, but in them, they use fucking tanks and mortars and shit like that, right?
Shitty fucking atomic monster
and every other one, they got tanks
and what they have in this movie?
They
had
three
one
dudes
guy with an MP fucking armband.
And
that's
stock
the
footage
army.
from another movie of the army that had their machine guns.
But they got like three dudes with machine guns. No mortars, no
guys
tanks.
With shotguns.
You don't even see a Jeep.
They did have a flamethrower.
Yeah, but you saw the nozzle
that was in black and white. So.
It was.
Yeah,
it was
we think
black
that the
and white.
flamethrower shot, repeated 3 times in black and white, may have been stock.
I thought it was color, though. I'm pretty sure
It looked like it phased between. I don't know what was going on there.
Yeah.
Maybe the flamethrower got too close to the camera.
There was no military presence.
Well, you're saying there was no...
That's because nobody believed them that giant fucking rabbits were attacking the town. They're like, we'll send a few guys. You go look and see if anything's wrong. And when there's not, come back.
Guard.
And the awesome... they don't have a Jeep, but they do have cop cars. which are apparently just like big sedans with a light bar on them. I mean, not painted any kind of color or anything.
They did mention that they had jets with bombers
ready to go
in Tucson. They mentioned
that's right,
the bomber jets.
I got jets on the tarmac in Tucson that can be here and blah, blah, blah.
You made up that sentence. Nobody said that.
Wasn't it? Didn't the guy with the MP?
Yeah.
Kinda.
He totally said there were jets in Tucson.
Yeah,
ready to bomb.
Ready to go.
But they didn't use it.
It'd be too expensive.
No. So, they gotta wait for the train to come through the town, and they hook up the tracks to the nearest power line and get all the people from the drive-in to herd the rabbits towards the tracks.
Which is even dumb because all the people were like sitting behind the tracks, like where the rabbits were coming from. That's what I understand. They kept on showing a shot where I figured, all right, here's like the line of people and the rabbits will like go for them. But then when the rabbits started coming, the rows of cars were in the background. I was like, wait a second, how is that bait?
I think it's to keep them from going that direction.
Is it?
Yeah, I think the lights, their explanation was the lights scare them into going this way.
I could be way off on this because I'm not geographically clear on where the military guys were, but I think the guys with the machine gun were also with the line of cars shooting at the rabbits to herd them toward the...
I could have sworn
were they on the other side of the trains?
Yeah.
Train tracks?
It was very fuzzy.
That's kind of fuzzy.
Very fuzzy.
Fuzzy.
It's really very
It
fuzzy.
was not clear at all.
Yeah.
It was,
But then shit happens, and those rabbits go for the tracks,
and more squibs and sparklers are going off. These poor innocent little bunny rabbits.
Innocent, they're gigantic.
they really were.
No, I mean the actual
ones, because you can tell. Like if you look closely, you can see their legs. No, their legs are tied up. Like they're jumping towards it, and to get them to not go over it and to pull them back, their legs are tied up, and they pull them down. You can see it in the movie.
Yeah, you can see strings because like sometimes they needed the rabbits to because they get shocked, so they needed them to like bounce up in the air a little bit. So you see a string and they go jack, and the back legs would go fly.
Or there's a pile of dead fake rabbits on the tracks that they're having the other rabbits jump over as they're getting shot.
It's quite morbid.
Yeah,
they use like a weird composite shot to show that there's because there's 3,000 rabbits supposedly that are running towards this fucking track.
At least two or
getting
so.
zapped.
In the end, it looked like there was 40.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure.
Max.
The rabbit budget was not big enough.
Rabbit budget.
Yeah.
Not big.
No, because they just keep using the same model shots of
Well, you keep saying that they use the same model shots. There were there's a significant variety, but I think as the movie goes on and they use it way too much, all these slow motion shots of rabbits running down roads, running past little model windmills. I mean, it's like the models are made out of the same stuff that you make your train model stuff out of. But I mean, it looks pretty decent. It's lit nice.
Yeah, it does.
I guess that's the thing that surprised me the most about it, that the model work I thought was competent.
Actually, even had wind going on.
Yeah, it's a little smoke and stuff like that in the background. It was like they had atmosphere.
It was very good.
But it was surprising because going into the movie, I didn't realize that it was going to be that effects heavy because it was 1972. I'm like, okay, so we're before all the effects work of the 80s and the late 70s. I'm like, this is going to be
this is your first time seeing this. What were your expectations going into it, Colin? Have you heard of it before?
Yeah, no, I've heard the title Night of the Lepus. I just heard that it was a bad movie and it was about killer bunny rabbits, which I thought was just retarded. And I think that's probably why nobody sees it, because as soon as you go what's a lepus? It's a rabbit.
Which is why
wait, they made a horror movie about killer rabbits when they scrape in the bottom of the barrel at this point?
Which is why they changed the title of the movie to Night of the Lepus. It was originally called Rabbits. Nice. But they didn't want to give that little tidbit away, so they changed it. They changed it to Night of the Lepus. Didn't put rabbits in any of the promo materials. Just called them creatures.
Oh my god, I would have been pissed as. Oh my god, it'd be like going to
hide that fact.
Hey, it's like The Village.
The only way they gave it away is that from some of the promotional materials they gave out rabbits' feet.
And I've seen the poster, but the poster just has a bunch of eyes in the darkness, chasing a dude.
So technically, no one really knew.
Okay, so that means to me that
they had no confidence.
Somebody knew. People. Yeah, after they made the movie, they're like, I don't know, man. We can't get anyone interested in seeing this movie about fucking killer bunny rabbits. It's a bad idea. I think it's executed as well as you can execute that idea.
I have to read the book before I call it.
This is probably the be-all, end-all of killer bunny rabbit movies. They never made one sense.
The best killer bunny rabbit is Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Well,
that's the best killer bunny rabbit.
That's different, to say the least.
He is a mean fucking... He's got his sharp razor teeth.
Oh, yes.
They have to use the holy hand grenade on it.
Indeed.
Yeah.
But still.
That is the best.
No full-on movies.
I didn't see at the beginning of this, like, unless I totally missed it, like a full-screen credit for, like, visual effects or miniature effects guy or whatever.
That's because it was probably Janet Leigh doing them. Like,
but they were
no
decent.
budget.
You're right. Like, at the time, it seems like whoever did that probably either came from doing bigger budget work or went into eventually doing something better than this.
It was like the dude from Giant Gila Monster and his miniature work went to work doing Lepus. It's like, well, all right, I'll fix it. We're not going to have a giant Gila monster stick his head through the wall.
Giant Gila monsters.
You're going to have to see this.
Well, yeah, what is this movie? I know what this movie is. It's Giant Gila monster.
It's either Toxic Waste or I don't even know. It's from like the 50s, so it's another drive-in classic, but a giant Gila monster is created somehow by science and is turned loose on a small town, and they have bad models whenever they show this, and they have somebody's pet iguana fucking walking through, like, so like the little tank will pull up or whatever, the Gila monster like kind of walks, not really carrying past it, but it's supposed to be like, oh my god, and the guy's inside like, oh no, it's the I just remember like at some point the movie hops they're at the sock hop and like all the, because that's where all the teenagers hang out obviously, and to entertain themselves they break into song at some point, 50s song where like the guy sings a song to the girl or the girl, I can't remember, but it was like, what the fuck, and then the giant Gila monster shows up outside the window. He puts his head in the building.
He busts through the building. So, like, the kids are all dancing, and then there's, like, an iguana head sticking through. And they're all like, ah! But, like, the Gila monster was obviously a pet, so he's just, like, has this, like, uncaring, like...
it's the most non-ferocious...
He's just like...
animal. Yep.
Yeah, that's what he's doing.
Yeah. It's amazing. But maybe not in a good way. But one of those like classic bad monster movies. I don't know. I don't know. Well, I suppose that's a wrap-up kind of thing.
Well, sure.
Yeah.
I think we're there.
Are we there to wrap up?
I think we're there.
All right.
Yeah, it'd be nice to talk a little bit more about this movie.
I don't think there's...
I don't know.
If there was anything to talk about in this movie. They were giant bunnies.
That's disappointing because while I'm watching it, I didn't get the idea that we wouldn't have as much to talk about. But now going back on it, I'm like, because there's no character, because the story is basically like, go here, Jim, we're going to go over here and blah, 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 blah. We're going to eventually do this. And, I was more enthusiastic about it for maybe like the first half of it because it wasn't as bad as I was led to believe that it was. And I'm like, oh, this is it. And the end, because the special effects were like, competently done. I'm like, oh, this might be something. And then as time wears on and you just get the multiple shots of, same slow motion.
Need to be a little more
running
at that point,
bunny rabbits. It just kind of wears on you. I mean, the movie runs like an hour and 28 minutes.
Yeah.
And I'd say about...
Oh, man.
What are you saying, 15 of those minutes or more? Or like if you were to cut out all the bunny stuff and just collect that together, it'd be like 15 minutes.
Well, let alone the beginning of the movie opens with like 10 minutes of nothing but stock footage about just the history of how fucking bunnies have like taken over Australia. Yeah. I mean, this movie's got a lot of padding. In between, like, not much dialogue. Yeah. Or no, lots of dialogue, just nothing.
They even do like long shots like, hey, we hired this helicopter.
Oh my god, the helicopter. It's just like, it's got to take off and fly a mile before we edit the fucking shot. It's like, god damn it.
That feels like one of those moments where like somebody on the, like one of the guys who put up the money for it had a helicopter. It was like, damn it, you're using my helicopter. And you're
But even when I watch TV shows from the 70s, I've always felt like shots on helicopters are so long and boring. They never edit it. It's just like, here comes the helicopter. It's getting close. it's landing. It's like, fucking edit the shot. Edit and show me something a little bit more interesting than a helicopter coming in.
Production value, land.
But there's different shots to do, just, for your eyes.
Invented.
What?
The helicopter. How long they been?
The helicopter invented? Oh my god, what are we?
I mean, they were in like the 60s.
A helicopter had to be invented in the
helicopters were rolling around 60s? In World War II, dude.
Yeah, something like that, I'm sure.
Yeah. It went, by the end of World War II, they were actually using the helicopter as like a
transport or something, or gunship.
They said the same thing for motorcycles. It
was like it was kind of more experimental weaponry, but it was actually.
I'll trust Tom on this, but listener, if we're wrong, which we've been known to be,
we're not that type of show.
Helicopters are starting to get widely used, probably like in the 50s.
Yeah, because as soon as we see, you got to know that they're working on it 20 to 30 years beforehand. We don't just see like, oh my god, a helicopter. Well, they had to. The government has it for a good fucking 40 years before they're like, "Hello, world, here's a helicopter."
Yeah. So in World War II,
hiding this from
you. Experimental. So you're late 40s.
Helicopter.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess final word on this from me is, I didn't hate it. It was amusing. I had fun watching it. Would I recommend it to you? That depends on your love of bad movies. I mean, I guess we're going to say that it's a bad movie.
Oh yeah,
right. But it's a fun bad movie. There's a lot to like about it. So I feel positive about it. So even though that
was very hippie.
On any other kind of day, this might hit me in a different light. But maybe I would. I'd recommend it to people, to lovers of...
Do you gotta be, like, drunk or high or something like that?
Everything that we watch here, we sit and watch this in a atmosphere where there's a bunch of us sitting around, like, railing on the movie, and it adds a layer of interest to it. If you were watching it by yourself, would it be the same? I can't say. This is how I saw it, and in this environment, I would recommend you to experience it.
Yeah.
Tom.
Yeah. It's a bad movie. Yeah, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. It's definitely like a bad stereotypical drive-in movie. That being said, again, it's like by being a bad drive-in movie, it's probably meant to be, under the influence, or, you're preoccupied doing something else, or you're sitting around with a group of friends having a few beers, just kind of making fun of it. That kind of brings out something. Unless you're in one of those kind of situations, I don't think you're going to get anything out of it, because it's just kind of dumb, really. And, but that's probably what they were going for.
No, they were absolutely.
They were
dead serious.
They were dead serious, and from that aspect, it's like, wow, God. I can't recommend it under you got
under fear of death.
You got to be like, if you're with a group of friends and you're drunk and you want to see a bad movie and make fun of it, Mystery Science Theater style, see this movie. Otherwise, definitely pass.
It's the type of movie that, if you watch it with a bunch of friends, it's fun. But, as soon as you, even give it, 5 minutes of its own time to play out, it's like, oh, God, turn it off. I don't know. This movie is just I don't know. I remember seeing Joe Bob Briggs play this on Monster Vision all the time, and that's where I originally first watched it. It plays a lot better with commercials than while you're
Give me a little break.
Not paying attention.
Oh, look, Ford's got a new car. How fun is that?
It's the same as the driving experience where you're not quite paying attention.
Yeah.
It's a movie to fold your laundry by.
Yeah, right? Have a cigarette, look down, learn how to draw while you watch this movie. If they would at least put something, because, I've always felt like I'm at least a little bit of a target audience for these type of movies, just because I remember seeing Skeeter from the 90s. Remember Skeeter?
I didn't see it.
No, you see Skeeter? Oh, shit.
Yeah, I remember
that. Well, I want to say there was 2 in the early night. I want to say there was Mosquito and Skeeter.
One of them was in Matinee, wasn't it? No, Popcorn? Remember that movie Popcorn?
Yeah, and Popcorn.
Was that Mosquito? Skeeter?
I can't remember.
Up on the
Mosquito?
That's coming.
Yeah, Popcorn?
I think it's coming.
Weird. Crazy. I haven't seen that in a long time.
Uh-oh.
Popcorn's cool. But,
It's cool.
I mean... Oh, shit, I don't know. I mean, it's a bad movie. It's fucking horrible. It's just horrible. It's like, I can't even, like... I was sitting here for like an hour. It's like, I can't even talk about this fucking movie. There's not many movies I cannot talk about at all.
It's a hard one.
Is it better than Sharknado?
Well, yeah.
I don't even know if I can make it. Like, falls in the same category. It's people, like, looking at something off a screen that they're not going to ever be able to come in contact with. And, like, depending on how good it looks when the camera goes to whatever the fuck they're looking at and how well it, like, relates, you know. This, I also did not feel like... Because, like, we saw Janet Leigh with all the bunnies around her and the whatever, and then as soon as the guy got close, there was no bunnies around. It's like, what the fuck? How, you know, I thought, like, at least show the bunnies run off. I mean, I guess maybe they did. I can't remember.
The helicopter scared them off.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, it's just like, what? Wait a second. I at least want to see a bunny running away. Like, at least one, so I can understand that a bunny ran away. It's all those having, like, no, we need this one more shot just to sell the idea that this happened.
No.
You know, and this, like, leaves a lot of this shit out. Like, you know.
I can see the editors in the room going,
Oof.
well...
here's the bunny footage, here's the movie footage. Like, here's what we shot, here's the bunny footage. Just make it happen. All right.
Show another eye. Show another eye.
The editor was very sad on this movie.
Yeah. But it was kind of cool. It was kind of... Because, it had those, like, freaky moments of, like, close-up of bunny rabbits and eyes and teeth. Especially the teeth. They had some bunnies.
There's some gnarly teeth.
Gnarly bunny teeth.
Yeah.
Especially the one that was frothing.
Oh.
Like,
drooling.
That was gross.
But yeah, I wouldn't fucking recommend this by any means. I mean, I'm sure you can watch it on YouTube for free or like whatever.
No, I'm pretty sure we looked up every place you have to pay to watch this movie. I'm pretty sure you cannot find it for free anywhere.
Oh my god, why? That's a
YouTube.
I did. Oh yeah, because I wasn't gonna pay for this movie.
Sin, man.
You can rent it on iTunes.
I've seen good movies for free on YouTube.
Yeah,
let alone
this one's not there.
Oh my god, MGM, man, those guys are fucking.
It's like $25 on Amazon. It's like,
oh my god, what? When did the DVD get released? When's the last time they did a print?
Oh, I don't know. Nope, don't know. I just know it's on there. That's for people who don't remember what it was.
Have they done a print of this? Have you seen like a physical print of this on DVD?
Well, that transfer it either came off.
It did. It has been on DVD. It took them 33 years to actually put this out on DVD, but it got there. There was a printing.
Whoa.
Yeah. You can buy it now. Amazon, $15.
Whoa. 25?
Out of print.
Wait. Go on eBay. Just wait. Shop around. Yeah, shop around. I'm sure somebody will be like, please, someone buy my Night of the Lepus DVD for $5. Just let me recoup some money from this. So,
yeah, I mean, it's not much can be said. It's kind of a bad movie. I never remembered it as being top tier by any means, but there are scenes that still stood out in my mind. You just can't make little bunny rabbits scary.
You can't.
You can't, and I think that's the big downfall of this movie. One of them. I find the model work. It was fun. It was good.
Yeah.
It's just kind of cool. It is that movie. It's the last movie at the drive-in that you're all like, fuck, I haven't seen this before. Let's sit and watch this. It's kind of perfect for that. It is only recommended to be seen with other people. In that fashion, and ironically to laugh, to tear it apart, because you really can't sit and watch this by yourself. There's no reason to. I think the suicide rate would go up if people did that. So don't watch it in that way. But sitting around with a bunch of friends watching it, it's entertaining. I would recommend it in that regard. Yeah, still entertaining. It's good.
Right. Well, there you go. That's our shortest podcast ever. No, I think we beat this.
Oh, no, we beat that.
We beat this, I think, with, was it Fight Club, Take 2? Or Creature from the Black Lagoon, I think. One of those.
Well, Creature was meant to be short, but...
Yeah. So next week on the Saturday Night Freak Show podcast, Brent isn't here tonight, so he has forfeited his pick.
Oh.
So we're going to move on to Tom. Tom's going to show us what?
I'm going to be swinging on a star with Hudson Hawk.
Correction, guys. We're going to be watching Point